Self-confidence is a feeling of trust in one's abilities, qualities, and judgment. So many of us yearn for self-confidence because we've never been taught to trust ourselves. The media and our community did us a disservice by teaching us to believe in external opinions. Sit up straight. Be ladylike. Use your inside voice. This is what real art is. First impressions matter. Stick to a respectable job. Wear your hair like this. You have to be 6 feet or taller. Not too big, not too little, not too short, just perfect. But these societal standards wreak havoc in our minds. Our thoughts start to make up the same chatter from the external world around us, and what we deem we lack, we focus on even more. Luckily, confidence is a skill. Although external factors do have a role on how you build your self-esteem growing up until the present, we are now intelligent enough to know that we have the power to believe in ourselves, and so external factors do not matter. Now it's a battle of the mind. The thoughts that come up in our head, we're attached to them. When we think that we're not good enough, we actually believe those thoughts. And that's the first issue. You believe in everything that you think. Every single thought that flows to your head, you build emotions around it. If you have anxiety and you fear that something will happen in the future, even though logically you know that that can't be true because I'm not a fortune teller, we still believe it. We still create fear and anxiety and that emotion behind it because we believe in the thoughts that pop up in our head. We are attached to our thoughts and we are attached to our fears. And the true way to build your self-confidence is to detach from your thoughts and detach from these emotions like fear. You have to realize that you are not your thoughts and you are not your emotions. You are simply here to experience them. I was reading The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer, and he made a great point in this book when he said our thoughts will literally tell us lies time and time again and scare us into fears, and they never come true. And yet we still believe our thoughts. Imagine if our thoughts were like a friend and they're constantly feeding this horrible advice to us. And maybe sometimes they'll have good and positive things to say, so we believe everything that they say, even though majority of the time what they're saying is not true. And yet we believe that the thoughts that pop up in our head, that we speak over ourselves, is true. You have to become detached from that friend that's yapping. Not hate the friend, because the friend, you know, they mean well. They're doing these things to keep you safe and keep you protected because that's all they know. They don't know anything else other than what they've already experienced. They logically don't understand what growth is. They only know how to keep you alive by keeping you doing the same thing you've been doing that kept you alive currently. You don't have to believe that friend, but you can acknowledge the words that come out of their mouth. You don't have to agree with that friend, but you can sit and observe what they have to say. When it comes to self-confidence, a lot of people always speak on the importance of positive self-talk. And they're not wrong in the sense that when you change your thinking pattern, then you already feel better. But you're still attached to those thoughts. And all it takes for your thinking pattern to flip again after one wrong event, and it makes you go back in a downward spiral to believing every single thought you believe in. So yes, although positive self-talking is beneficial, the most important thing is to detach from these thoughts altogether. Even when you are at your worst, you still want to have that self-confidence. Even when your mind is telling you the complete opposite, you still want to have that self-confidence and knowing and belief that you are okay. The key is to build self-esteem up so much that not even yourself can shake you from your belief. So what does self-confidence look like then? When you think of self-confident people, you think of people who are extremely beautiful and confident. They have high shoulders, head up high, and they know how to fill up a room without any fears. I would like to add that this can be a superficial way of looking at confidence. Confidence isn't only reserved for the extroverts who know how to work a room. Introverts can also take up space and be confident in their quietness and reservedness. They are not concerned what others think of them because they are true to themselves. And even if someone were to dislike them, that doesn't change who they are internally. But like anything in life, positive emotions are fleeting. So what do these self-confident people look like even at their lowest? Not only are our emotions fleeting, but self-confident people trust themselves enough to be vulnerable in those lower emotions. They trust themselves to be vulnerable in their sadness, in their anger, in their insecurities. They know and understand that at the end of the day, we all have insecurities. We all struggle. No one has the full answers, but I have the answers for myself because I trust myself. That's all that matters, because at the end of the day, I'm the only person that knows me fully. Self-confident people aren't afraid to express themselves through their style, through their music taste, through whatever hobbies or interests that you're into. They dive into them deeply despite any fears or worries that they may have. And yes, I say despite because a lot of people think that when people are self-confident that they just don't fear anything, when that is not the truth. They just detach from their fear. Fear never fades. You just detach from it. Every single time that I record a video and I upload it for the world to see, I have fear inside of me, like the emotional flutter, like, oh my gosh, what if this gets on the wrong side of YouTube? Or what if people don't like what I have to say? This fear sits with me every single time, but yet and still, I have uploaded consistently since I started my journey the beginning of this year. And every time I feel like I'm pushing the button or stepping on toes or diving a little bit deeper about my opinions and my beliefs, I get more fear, but yet I still go because I'm confident in myself and I know my intentions behind every single thing I create. So if someone were to see this video and take it in a different way and think I have ill intentions with the content that I'm creating, I know deep down inside of me that that is not my truth. That is their truth. That is what they believe, but that doesn't define me and that doesn't affect me. Self-confidence is moving in your fear because you trust yourself. Moving in the discomfort because you trust yourself. So how do you practice self-confidence? To build self-confidence, you need to practice persistently and fight your fears. So start with setting goals and sticking to them because that is the only way to trust yourself. Think of yourself as another person. Would you trust someone who says that they're going to get up every day and work out at this certain time and they don't do it? They give up and they just have excuse after excuse, because that is what you're doing to yourself. And that is why it's hard for you to trust yourself, because you just give excuses to yourself. But at the end of the day, you know you the best. So the excuses that you give to yourself don't make sense even to yourself. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you truly do not believe that you can keep up with what you say you want to do not say you will do it. Adjust the goal and make it smaller. Make it something that you know there's no way you could not do it. So outside of practicing trust exercises, another thing that you can do is start practicing detachment from your thoughts and your emotions. And if you follow me, you already know that I'm going to say mindfulness. You need to be present in the moment. Whenever you have those negative thoughts that pop up in your head, I need you to take your breath. Take a breath and just observe those thoughts. Observe them. Do not judge them. Do not fight them, but just view them. Give it love and acknowledge that it is there, but do not try to fight your thoughts with more thoughts. I know I've struggled with this in the past when I first started my journey, where I will have a negative thought like, oh, what if my art isn't good? And then immediately I'd be like, no, don't say that. My art is good. What's wrong with you? And it's literally me fighting with myself. I am talking to myself in my head. And if you do that, that is not the way to detach from your thoughts. Detachment is like this. Wow, what if my art really sucks and I never make it? That's detachment. It probably didn't make sense because there was no talking, but that's the point. Don't even respond to your thoughts with more talking, with more thoughts. Observe it. I listened to it. I accepted what it said. I don't have to agree with it. I do not have to have a conversation about it. I do not have to write it down and ponder upon it. It's a thought, a fleeting thought that came and went just as fast as it came, it went away. But when we start to overanalyze that one thought and spiral into more thoughts like, oh, what if I never make it? Oh my gosh, I really couldn't make it. Oh my gosh, like my art really isn't that great. I probably won't make it. And it just starts being thought after thought after thought. That puts you in that suffering moment where you start to believe the thoughts that pop in your head. But remember, your thoughts are nothing more than a radio station, and you do not have control over that radio station all the time. Sometimes it's random and it pops up, and whatever happens, happens. But you are just listening to that radio station. You're observing it. You don't agree with the words that they're saying, but you accept whatever comes out. You give it love and you give it presence. And watch, just as fast as it comes, it goes. Just because a thought pops up in your head does not make it truth. So start by doing small practices like that. Every time you catch yourself in thought, take a break, take a breath, and observe the world around you for what it is. Come back to your presence. Observe your thoughts, observe your emotions, and how you're feeling in that moment. Detachment from the idea of separation is also a great practice if you find yourself constantly feeling jealous and insecure when confident people enter the room. That means you still have work to do with detaching from the idea that you are separate from that person. You still view confidence from a superficial level instead of confidence from your true self. When you realize that everyone is you pushed out, seeing confident people brings you joy. Affirmations are a great way to help with changing your mindset when it comes to jealousy and insecurity by saying things like, the more confident I am, the more confident people surround me. Picking a mindfulness practice and expanding upon it throughout your day is a great way to build that mindfulness habit of always being aware of your thoughts, your emotions, and the world around you without any judgment. And it's also a great way to build self-confidence, because if you are detached from the negative thoughts that you have and those fleeting feelings that come and go, then how could you not believe in yourself? And when I say self-confidence, I'm talking about your true self. When you can sit back and realize that you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions, you are not the person that you even think you are greater than that. That is true self-confidence. And that is what I want you to build, not just the external, oh, I think I'm beautiful and my art is great self-confidence, but deeper than that. Knowing that no matter what happens in your life, no matter what circumstances are thrown your way, you always know who you are. My name is Elle. I'm an artist and a spiritual creative coach. I really hope that this video helped you in any way and pushed you to building your self-confidence. If it did, please give this video a thumbs up. Leave comments down below for me to check out. And if you're new, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.